Spotlights, secrets, and showdowns. Nurses' ball mayhem hits Port Charles. As the crimson carpet unfurled and flashbulbs ignited the night sky over Port Charles, the stage was set not just for glamour, but for secrets, schemes, and the kind of chaos only the nurses' ball can inspire. Tuesday, May 20th proved once again that no event in this town stays simple for long. What began as a dazzling celebration of charity and performance quickly spiraled into a night teetering on the brink of disaster, and not all the drama took place on stage. The evening kicked off with the traditional fanfare, as residents of Port Charles strutted in high fashion for the waiting press. Donna, beaming and elegant at her young age, walked beside Sonny, who remained ever the pillar of composed intensity. While Donna charmed the cameras, Sonny's gaze never strayed far from the crowd, his senses alert as if anticipating more than just applause. However, the true jaw-dropper came in the form of Jordan Ashford's arm-in-arm appearance with Jen Sidwell. Not only did it send shockwaves through those gathered, it turned whispers into full-blown speculation. Sidwell, a controversial figure with unclear loyalties, has never been known for his subtlety, and his sudden visibility at such a high-profile event alongside Jordan set the rumor mill ablaze. Yet while the public relished in appearances and couture, backstage was an entirely different world. Lucy Coe, the indefatigable mistress of ceremonies, was barreling headlong into what could only be described as a logistical nightmare. What began as a quirky nurse's ball staple, walking a llama across the stage, descended to pandemonium when the animal refused to cooperate. But that was just the beginning. A critical performer threatened to drop out at the last minute, potentially derailing a key act that Lucy had staked much of the show's momentum on. Refusing to surrender her vision to flakiness or nerves, Lucy dragged the reluctant participant back into the spotlight, her determination unwavering. She had built this event from scratch and no diva, human or animal, would bring it down on her watch. While Lucy fought fires backstage, another kind of fire was being quietly extinguished elsewhere. Anna Devane, ever the strategist, was quietly working her own angle. An unexpected setback related to a sensitive operation threatened to unravel weeks of quiet maneuvering. But when all seemed lost, Felicia stepped in with a deceptively simple suggestion that, to Anna's astonishment, might just solve everything. In a rare moment of candid praise, Anna acknowledged Felicia's knack for thinking outside the box, a trait that, just this once, might have spared them a catastrophe. Whether this had to do with the security around the ball or something darker brewing beneath its glitzy surface, Anna wasn't saying. But one thing was clear, she wasn't just here for the entertainment. Meanwhile, far from the lights and laughter, Alexis Davis found herself squaring off with an old adversary. Rick Lansing, never one to pass up an opportunity to press an advantage, approached with a smug assurance that he still held leverage. But Alexis was having none of it. Whatever Rick thought he had, information, threats, demands, she met it with a warning that cut sharper than any legal retort. "Keep pushing, and you may not like where it ends," she told him coldly. It wasn't just a threat, it was a promise grounded in quiet resolve and personal exhaustion. She had too much to protect, and too many lines already crossed. Rick, blinded by old grudges and wounded pride, failed to see that this time, Alexis wasn't playing defense. She was drawing the line, and stepping over it. Part of the tension stemmed from a critical piece of evidence that had recently surfaced. Ava Jerome, in a desperate effort to shift blame and manipulate outcomes, had secretly moved a car connected to a pivotal incident. Alexis, through a combination of intuition and investigative grit, had discovered Ava's tampering. Though the car itself remained elusive, Alexis had gathered enough to expose the break in chain of custody and potentially prove criminal interference. It was a bombshell that could reshape the fallout from Christina's alleged involvement in the recent accident. Without the vehicle, the video of Christina, even if it seemed incriminating, was a flimsy foundation for any conviction. The possibility that Ava had staged or manipulated the evidence to frame Christina now hung heavily over the case, and Alexis, more than anyone, understood the magnitude of that revelation. As the ball reached its crescendo, with performers hitting their marks and applause filling the room, few realized just how fragile the illusion of harmony truly was. Behind the scenes, alliances frayed, deceptions simmered, and buried truths threatened to detonate beneath the sparkle. The nurses' ball had always been a night of surprises, but this year it wasn't the wardrobe changes or musical numbers that would leave lasting impressions. It was the quiet threats, the bold warnings, and the whispered accusations hiding in plain sight. And as the curtain began to fall, it became increasingly clear, the glitz was just camouflage. The real drama was only beginning.